Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. So if you are preparing for the data analysis or data engineering interview, so this question is important for you to understand how the join works and what are the different types of joins and what is the difference between each type of joins. So joins are used to combine the rows from two or more table based on the related column. Related column meaning the column which is common between two tables. If nothing is common between two tables, you won't be able to perform the joins. This you should understood first. So let's say, okay, so common between two table, that doesn't mean column name. Column data should be the common. Okay, so I have a one table that is for the record of student, and I have another table that is for the students marks. Okay, so if I say student marks, this is my another table. If I run this, so here you will be able to see in both the table id column is common. Okay, that is fine. So now one table shows the marks, another table shows the details of the student. I would like to combine this result, meaning I would like to join the rows based on the related column. When someone will say related column or common column, meaning you should focus on the values. To perform, values are happening based on the column values, which is a common between two tables. So now how to perform the join, or what are the different types of joins? So joins allows you to retrieve the data that is spread across the multiple tables. It's not like that you can apply the joins between two tables. You can apply the joins between any number of tables. But condition is remain same. Those table should have the related data. Okay. So now first join type is left join. So what left join does? Okay, if I perform the left join. So what is mean by it? Okay, so we have two table. Let's say this student table is our first table, and this marks students marks table is our second table. Okay, so if I perform the left join, I am going to bring all the columns from student. Okay, or we can specify the names. So student, I will say this is my S1 table, and then I will say simply left join. I am going to join the first table with the second table using the join type called left join. So then I will say dbo dot student marks. This will be S2, right? So these are the two tables we are going to connect using the left join. So now let's specify the columns. From first table, I would like to have the ID. From first table, I would like to fetch the name. From S2 tables, obviously I don't need ID once again. So I will pull the marks because IDs already exist, and S2 dot a subject name, then again S2 dot English. So these are the three columns I would like to fetch from the second table. These are the two columns I would like to fetch from the first table. And yes, we are going to perform left join. So we defined how to define, oh sorry, how to perform the joins on these two tables, or by using which type of join you should pull the data, fetch the data. This is what we defined, but we have it not yet defined on which column or what is the related column between these two tables. So I will say S1 dot, I'm using alias ID is equal to S2 dot. Obviously, ID is common between these two tables. So I'm using these two columns. So this says whatever the common between or whatever the uh, column value match, this will find. It will pull the record. But then what is the meaning of left join? So your first table, the table used in a from statement before left join word, that table is considered as a your first table, or we can say that left table. So it will go and return all the rows from left table, meaning from first tables, and only matching rows from the second table. So wherever it finds the match based on the ID in second table, it will pull the records. So now if I pull this, you will be able to see 106 is not exist in student marks table. So it shows null record. Right. So this is about the left join. Left join pulls all the rows from left table and only matching rows from the right table. What will happen if the no match found in the right table? So it will show null value for the specific row for all the columns which are from the right table. Right. So now next is right join, or sometimes people may refer this as a right outer join in some databases. Okay. So that is fine. So now my requirement is little bit changed. Earlier, I had to pull all the rows from first table. Now my requirement is that I would like to pull all the rows from second table. Here, left and right matters. So now here, if I change, the query remains same. I will simply say right join. So now what this will does for me? Okay, it will go and it will pull all the three columns, Marathi, Hindi, English, from second table for all records. For all records. So if I run this, you will be able to see all these 5 rows are written here. Why? Let me show you. If I pull the data only from the second table, you will be able to see that 101, 102, 103, 104, 105 is exist. Similarly, if I pull from first table, so 101, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But 6 is not present in second table. So it has not pulled the data for 106. Why? Because we have given the priority to the right table. And obviously, for each and every row, it founds the match from left table. So it is pulling the data, ID and name from the left table wherever it found the match. In case, in case, if we may have something extra records in the marks table, those are not present in student table. So you will see the null values on the left column or left tables column. Right. So we can say the columns from left table. If there is a no match, but here we have a match for all. So this is fine. This gives us the result. Then next type of join is inner join. Okay. So what will happen if I use inner join? Right. So there may be a chance that you have lots of records which are not matching between these two tables. So if you use left join unnecessarily, it will go and create the null value rows for columns from the right tables, or vice versa. We can say that if you use the right join, it will do the same with the columns from left table. I wants to get the rows which are only common or which are only matching from both the tables. So in that case, you can go and you can use or you can define the type of join as an inner join. You will see the same result. Why? Because inner join returns matched rows only, and all these five rows are matching in both the tables. That's why, right? So instead of inner, in some RDBMS, if you just specify the join, this will be again your inner join. So inner join returns only the matching rows from both the tables based on the specified condition. So this is what the condition we specified here in on clause. If there is no match, the rows are excluded. Rows are excluded. Now let's talk about the full join, or sometimes it may be referred as a full outer join, irrespective of match or not match. I would like to fetch the data. I would like to return all the rows from both the tables. In that case, I can go and I can simply define the join type as a full join. So here you will be able to see that from left table, it is bringing or it is pulling the data for 106, for which we don't have match from the left table. Still it is pulling. Why? Because we are using full join. So irrespective of match, full join will give you the data from both the tables, all the rows from both the tables. So now next is cross join. So cross join returns the Cartesian product of two tables. Each row from first table is paired with each row from the second table. And for cross join, you don't need to specify on condition, because you are going to join the table irrespective of match or not match, right? So match is not going to matter in Cartesian, sorry, in cross join. So we can say on condition is not required. Okay. So number of rows from first table into number of rows from second table will be your final number of rows in cross join. So this is just going to return as the Cartesian product of two tables. That's it. And how it is going to work, you can see here 101 Aditya. Aditya is okay. Now what I will do is let me bring the ID from second table also, so that it will be easy to understood this. Okay, fine. And then s1 dot id, s2 dot id. I'm just sorting the data to see the result in appropriate manner, right? So 101 in second table we have five rows, right? So here you can see that for first record from left table 101 Aditya, 101 Aditya, it is coming for five times, and all the records from the second tables are matched here, are matched here. So we are not going to perform any kind of, in some cases definitely this kind of join is required. So cross join is again important, but it depends on the situation which type of join you should use. But you should understood cross join. Cross join may be asked to use in interview to derive some kind of results. So now last type of join is a self join. Okay, if you come, so last join is self join. So when we will say the same table is used to, or same table is joined with this table itself, then the type of join is called self join. But when to use this, what kind of situation? So here in self join, table is treated as two separate entities using the table alias. So meaning we are going to use only one table. So here we will take a example of another table. Let's say if I use select star from dbo dot employee ct. Okay. So now if you want to find something which is hierarchical in that case, or if you want to compare the data of two tables, sorry, two columns from the same table, if you want to compare the data of same table from two different columns, then you can use self join. Meaning here I have employee id, here I have a manager id. I would like to see how many employees are acting as a manager. Here I have a list of employees. All are not a manager. So those who are a manager, I would like to find them. So how we can do that? We can use CT also. That is fine. Or we can use self join also. So let's use the self join here. So I will say this is C1 or E1. I'm just using the alias. Okay. This is the table name. Here I will say E1 join, and this table as a E2. So you need to use the join only. Don't use the self join and all. E2. And then you can give the condition in on clause here, like E1 dot manager ID is equal to E2 E2 dot employee ID. So the condition is like if the manager ID is equals to employee ID, I would like to see the records. So this star, let's try this. You can see it has written the data two times. It has written because we use the star here. Two times it has written the data. Right. So from first table, it has written all the records. This is fine. Or let me try using these self join. So self is not needed to use. So it will get understood automatically based on the table names. Meaning same table we are using in the join. So now I would like to get the data, but my data is coming from the E2. Here, if you see employee ID, employee name, and manager ID. All these are the managers acting as a managers for someone. And I would like to see the list of those employees only. So I will say E2 E2 dot employee ID, and then E2 dot employee name. Right. So now if I run this, you will be able to see I'm getting the employee IDs until 7. This is getting repeated 16 times. Why? Because we have 16 number of records in the table. So obviously what I should do is I should use, because I don't want this, duplicate data. So I will say distinct. And now if I run this, you get this. So these many employees are acting as a manager for other employees, or for these employees also. So maybe one could be the manager for Bob and Charlie, like this. But yes, so all these are a manager. So in this scenario where you need to do a comparison between two columns of same table, self join is used. So this is all about the joins. I hope you like the content of this video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day. Happy learning. Please do not forget to subscribe webcam.